Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 98 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, where we are quickly approaching the end of the personal story. And today I want to go ahead and partake on the Whispers plan through Arah, where we are going to begin the story mission Stealing Light, which begins right over here, which we can just waypoint basically straight towards it, and we can go ahead and complete the 3 missions in this arc of this part of chapter 8 of the personal story, and then maybe we could do one additional mission afterwards, where we got, of course, the waters of Arah, and we can go ahead and try to do a little bit of a naval attack on Arah as we begin with a siege on a lighthouse. And this is such a cool piece of loading screen art. It's very incredible.
Help! Save me! I've been eaten by a vicious leviathan.
I can't believe you're considered an equal in my field.
Take a look at that. And they said nobody has fun in Arah.
And we've got a ton of heroes with us here. Let's go ahead and chat with this
Commander,
one.
good to see you. Let me call the others over and we'll get started. Squad, circle up. Time to talk tactics. Listen up, team. Our target is Beacon Torch. It guides bone ships through the darkness of the Orient Vale. Our plan is not to capture the lighthouse. We get in, redirect the light, and get out.
What happens then?
Then, Commander, the bone ships will follow the beacon and end up like beached gulper fish. While they're stuck on the rocks, we wipe out the crew.
Greetings, Commander. I'm sure you remember me, Zot, master of Auspex enchantments and ocular devices. We met at Claw Island and...
Ahem, you toddling ninny bucket!
Yes. This is Ellie, my adjunct. Loath as I am to admit it, she is an expert on holomancy.
Adjunct? You wish, stuffy britches. Traherne said I'm your partner. Nice to see you, Commander. Get ready for some fun.
Get to know the squad. We'll head out when the scout gives the all clear.
So we have a very fun squad here of a bunch of different interesting characters. Scholar, Inkblood, Hard to Believe, or Ever Had Life. Imagine it, one man believed he had to do something that drastic simply because of a Char invasion, where he is talking about the Vizier here. And it's very interesting that he comments on that, as he himself is a Char with his little Drake friend and pal here, Amphibe, I believe. Amphibia. Then we got Agent Zot, who we did meet in Claw Island. And we are going to go ahead and do something else related to a lighthouse, which we helped him out with a lighthouse on Claw Island. And we got Ellie here, who is a master of holomancy, which is very interesting to see, and kind of a more free-spirited character that we got going on. But we did meet her, I believe, in the Savari personal story. You can double check on the wiki, but I think she was in like chapter 3, where we were dealing with Rhiannoch and Mazdak. But maybe I'm thinking of something different, where maybe we should let's let her give a demonstration.
Amazing, don't you think? It mimics everything I do. I use it for
Tournament
Catastrophes,
announcements.
Ellie, you chowderhead. We're supposed to be hiding.
Whoops. Sorry, Zoddy, I forgot. Powering down.
I see the hologram has red eyes, and she has like kind of blue eyes, but red in the center, so maybe it's just more dramatic. But let's go ahead and talk to Ellie Jean. Is that how you pronounce her name? No idea. But we can go ahead and begin this operation, where we got Zri.
Scout reporting in. We just got confirmation from Clapter 5. Your team is go.
Understood, Sri. And thanks. We'll take it from here. Commander, will you take point? We need to hit the water and approach Beacon Torch from the bay.
I like Zri a lot because she's just everywhere in the personal story and in some stories afterwards. But now we can go ahead and begin our little bit of an invasion, where we can see up there in the distance, we can see like the very edge of a lighthouse with the beam coming out of it, and it is called a Beacon Torch, and we're going to have to fight all the way up there. And this is a very popular story mission, actually, for something we'll see in just a moment. But I really like kind of the vibes here, where we got like an elite team, and we're infiltrating like a special place in Arah right now in order to try to like destabilize like Zaitan's infrastructure, basically.
Let's regroup
Alert!
here before we
Alert!
head up the cliff.
We're being invaded.
Ellie, you're all backwards again. We're the ones invading.
Nozon, she's right. That spider's a spy. Sick of them, Phoebe.
So that spider is a spy. Let's head up the cliff towards Beacon Torch, where we got a bunch of Arisen all around here, including a spider in the back. Try to group them up, which that went horribly for us. And I've been playing this character and a couple of other characters on my account, and currently my Necromancer is the only one that is geared up and like ready to go in like the story with like a bunch of ascended gear. And I feel like I should maybe try to get some gear on some of my other characters as well. We got a veteran Risen Giant over here. Let's go ahead and deal with this threat. Looked like he was trying to throw something. We can just dodge out of the way, and he has a ton of health. So let's go ahead and just tear through him. Kind of just a classic Risen Giant fight where he just likes to throw things and spawn some grubs, and there's like some poison action going on. And what's the saying? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Or we can go ahead and watch him fall there. Very, very fun death animation. And then we got another Risen Giant up there with another group of Risen and some more spiders here. So let's go ahead and deal with them very, very quickly. We can use all of our area abilities, and we are getting pelted by the Risen Giant. So we're probably going to want to try to get up there as soon as possible just to deal with that threat. And maybe that's something we could do first, or we could just try to deal with all the threats down here. And then we just have the giant to deal with. So it's kind of like an option you can make. Do you want to like deal with the ads first and focus on the boss? Or do you want to deal with like the boss that's just like throwing things at you and then deal with all the ads? This hatchling has like a ton of health for just being like a Risen Spider hatchling. Set him on fire. And then up this way, here's the giant. I think that might be the last giant. You can see the path going off that way. Just try to deal as much damage as here. And then kind of the same deal as the last one, where it just has a ton of health. And this one can fall to our mighty blade as well. A few grubs. Let's try to resurrect the hologram. That's something we can do here. I guess we're just like repairing it or something in this specific scenario. And let's continue this way towards the lighthouse proper. Where she asks what's that scrabbling sound, and we can go ahead and see coming towards us is a ton of Risen Spider hatchlings. And this is that very interesting and important part of the story mission that I alluded to just a few minutes ago.
Don't stop. Keep moving forward.
Where she says, don't stop, keep moving forward, but we could actually stop here for just a moment. Because if anybody remembers, I have no idea, like 30, 40 episodes ago, you can check the number, we were doing the Vigil personal story related to Claw Island. So like 30 episodes ago, I think, where we went into the sewers as a member of the Vigil, where we discovered the like undead scout that was in the sewers, and there were a ton of rats there, and I talked about how people would farm that story mission in order to get points for their Weapon Master achievement. And this is another place that players like to come to, and is an area that I like a lot less compared to that one, but it's still like a spot that players enjoy trying to work on that achievement, because we have all of these Risen Spider hatchlings that are just like spawning right here, and before they attack you, they are basically like one hit, where I shouldn't have done that because that doesn't progress anything for us. But if we come into our achievements page here, into the general tree, into, well, actually Slayer, maybe this counts for like Spider Slayer or something, but into the Weapon Master, we have Scepter here, which we can see is just skyrocketing right now. And then we can also find our Torch one, which is currently at 5960, and it's not really going up. Oh, there we go, 64. So we could spend just a lot of time here working on this achievement, or these achievements if we wanted, but I think it's probably best that we just go ahead and move forward. But kind of just like one of those like random story missions that's a little bit more important than meets the eye. The Beacon Torch point of interest here, and the Risen Spider Lord.
More food for my pets. Excellent.
deal with all of these threats here. Some Risen Spider Hatchlings helping him out, and it is just a Risen Spider Lord where we have this very interesting thing here that just has like purple goo just falling from it. And then we got the lighthouse itself right there, a classic looking Orion lighthouse that is currently activated. So let's go ahead and successfully defeat the Risen Spider Lord so we can go ahead and claim this area and might die in the process. But I think these Spider Hatchlings, just like the other ones, will count towards our Weapon Slayer achievements, so we can go ahead and just progress that a tiny bit more before we are out of this story mission. It's kind of just like running around there. Go ahead and throw down some AoEs. There's our Great Sword, which has probably significantly more kills than the Scepter. And let's try to kill one of the Risen Spider Hatchlings just to rally, let's heal up. We're really struggling here. Might be good for us to get some armor or something. Looks like he healed as he transformed into like a spectral spider himself. So he kind of just embraced the form that he is a lord of. Looks like this form does have less health than the previous one, so we are kind of tearing through it just a tiny bit faster. We can try to use like the structure that he's kind of stuck on right now to one block him a little bit, and then to avoid the attacks from the Risen Spider Hatchlings, and we can AoE them down through it without them being able to hit us. So that's actually a very like interesting thing going on here. The Risen Spider Lord should be dead, and we can beat this mission successfully. Although the Risen Spider Hatchling just hanging out. Zot's going towards the lighthouse. And then we might have to resurrect the Crusader here. The Spider Hatchling has so much health. And then we can help Zot redirect the lighthouse beam. So let's come here, examine this, and replace this.
The discombobulator's detached from the combobulator. Could you lend a hand, Commander?
That was a rough ascent. The Risen are serious about defending these lighthouses.
Well done, everyone. The next bone ship that follows this beacon will be in for quite a surprise. Now it's a waiting game. We'll meet at the staging grounds when our scouts tell us a ship's been sighted. Until then, dismissed.
So, Zadi, having trouble with the occlusion interface? I could help you study up on it over a nice bottle of Turumba cider.
Study up on it? I? You? I mean, hands to yourself, Holomancer. And don't call me Zodi. It's embarrassing.
Oh, you're absolutely adorable when you're flustered. Shame it doesn't happen more often.
So mission successful. Let's go ahead and pick up a reward here. This might actually be kind of an upgrade. Technically it's like a downgrade because of the quality, but it's a level 80 piece of gear and it's more damage oriented, which might be good for us, but maybe we need the defenses. Let's go ahead and go towards the Cathedral of Zephyrs. Alright, let's just go back to Blighted Arch waypoint. I just spawned in and there's a champion risen giant with 2 risen abominations, so I'm just going to quickly turn around. I actually want to go the other way, but let's try to loop back up here. And if you check our mini-map, you just need to go to the other side of this cathedral, where we have Conscript the Dead Ships and another really cool loading screen art, where there's a dead ship in the water over there that I see. And then we got our squad down here.
I'll follow your lead.
Let's go ahead and chat with the Crusader, where our false lighthouse signal worked perfectly. You should have seen those dead ships pile up in the shallows. Anyways, the team's assembled, ready for the briefing. Now that the ships are helpless, we board them and eliminate the crews. Then engineers Sunbauer, Ellie, and Zot fix them up so we can sail them without alerting the rest of Zaitan's fleet. We sail along the Orion coast, surprise the enemy beachhead, and eliminate the Orion commanders with ship bombardment. Phil and Mary will row you out to the enemy ships. Got it. So we got like a very cool looking rowboat here. Look at this. I feel like I haven't seen this in too many other places in Guild Wars 2. A very, very cool model. But we got some friends here, Phil and Mary.
Commander on deck! Glad to meet you. I'm Captain Phil Verdenmeer.
Nice to meet you, Fel. Are you part of the squad?
My wife and I sail a clipper out of Lion's Arch. We were brought in by the Pact to handle a special mission, piloting bone ships. Nobody said the dang things already had a crew.
They might be crewed now, but that's what my squad's here to do. Take out the Risen and deliver the ships. The question is, can you sail them?
Now look here, girlie. I can sail a Bantam in a full hurricane. I can sail anything. Stick a toothpick on a turtle and I'll sail it to Cantha before dawn.
I hope you're right. Ellie, Zot, are you ready to help commandeer these vessels?
Operating at 100% efficiency, Crusader. Ignore the tinge of green around Ellie's ears. I assure you, Asura never gets seasick.
A fun reference to Cantha there.
I envy Inkblood his shore leave. These ships are horrible.
You say shore leave, I say hydrophobia. That lummox got off lucky if you ask me.
If you two work half as well as you argue, we'd have these ships fixed already.
This is such a cool mission where, first of all, these ships look like they used to be Lion Guard ships and then were captured by the Risen. Maybe they were like sunken beneath the waves and then like brought back up by Zaitan or whatever. So a very, very cool concept. But then also just like a mission that takes place on a bunch of boats and we're going to navigate through the boats is very, very cool. A very interesting set piece where we need to clear out the first dead ship of Risen and then we can move around to other ones as well. So let's just go ahead and try to DPS everything down and get through here pretty quickly so we can commandeer these ships. The lower part of the ship. So this is pirates. Another one over here. Two of them. I was expecting more than... Oh, there's three of them. They were hiding. I was expecting more than three, though. Let's go ahead and deal with these. Try to heal up a little bit. And then we can potentially clear this ship successfully. Where we have to deal with the captain first. I have a feeling this isn't necessarily your ship, but maybe it is. So let's go ahead and just try. Ooh, let's try to heal up. That was a ton of damage. Yeah, we definitely need gear at some point on this character. Such a cool concept where we have to go from ship to ship, kill some Risen, and then we have to defeat the captain of the ship, who is of course another Risen. Or this one. Went down pretty easily. She dealt a lot of damage at the start there. She dodges the final attacks.
One down, three to go. These Risen don't make it easy, do they, Mary, my dove?
Would we want it to be easy, Belle, my love? Let them come. We'll keelhaul them with their own lines.
That's my rowdy girl. Crusader Jane, I think we're ready for the next gangplank.
So Jane's building a gangplank here that we can go ahead and run to the other ship on. So it's kind of cool. The next ship is kind of locked until she builds a path over towards it. And then we have a ton more Risen here that we can go ahead and defeat. And then we got a Risen Captain Red Eye. A ton of char on this ship specifically. A bunch of char Risen pirates here, and then their captain is a char as well. So let's go ahead and finish clearing them up. A ton of conditions. This char is like a necromancer. Because of that, he is significantly weaker in the health department. So he's going down significantly faster. Finish this fight here.
Unusual ocular guns on these creatures. I've never seen lobules quite like these.
With due respect, Agent, I don't care what they see. I just care that they're dead.
Still, they could see the beacons. Ah, no matter. Crusader Jane, the gangplank, if you please.
Mary Jane ran over to the first ship, but she can go ahead and put down the second one, where we can go to this ship, and then I'm going to assume that ship over there is the last one for us.
Watch it! They're crawling up the outer hole.
They're crawling up the outer hole. Let's get over here.
Cut them down.
Let's try to group them up a little bit here. And then this is such a cool mission, like thematically. And this entire like arc is really cool, where we have like the lighthouse idea, and then we're like capturing these ships, and then we're going to sail the ships in order to basically ambush the risen beachhead. But in general, I just really like the concept that we got going on here, where we're just going from ship to ship. It's such a cool like arena to fight in. Basically, it's very unique compared to some other places we fought in recently. So we got another risen captain here, where he said one of us seems familiar, which is very interesting. He is an Asuran, and we got 2 Asuran here with us, but he's also kind of like a captain of a ship, and we got like 3 people that are kind of associated with that. So it really could be anyone. I don't think it's us, because I don't think we've met him. Let's go ahead and launch the final few attacks against him. We have 1 more dead ship in order to clear.
Ellie, get a move on. Ellie? Ellie, are you alright?
I knew this one. His name was Yej. He left Radasun to be a gladiator.
There, dear girl. Don't give up now. Whatever would your imaginary holographic friends do without you?
Thank you, Zadi. Crusader Eileen, put out the last gangplank. I owe those risen a punch in their guts.
It seemed like Eiley ran back to the first ship again. Very interesting pathing there. She can go ahead and put down the last gangplank. And then we can get onto the last ship over this way. And we should have a few more risen coming up to fight us. Presumably. None of them are here.
Look, Fel. Someone left an arm lying around.
Oh, there's just an arm.
It's probably a trick. Get an axe.
It looks like it fell from Balthazar's hounds. They're in the rigging. Look up.
So let's just jump down. There's some Hylic here. Suspicious undead arm. We can just pick it up and throw it at them. We can pick it up again. We can just keep picking up the arm over and over. That's fine. Let's go ahead, throw down the AoE abilities that we can. Deal with the Hylic. Kind of fun that we're dealing with some risen Hylic right now, because Hylic are associated with like water, and yeah, that's pretty much it. They're not really associated with sailing, but you know, they're like amphibians, so it kind of makes sense in like a water themed mission to be fighting a few of them. It's really fun that we are fighting like a few different enemies, where we started with some humans and then Chars and then some gladiators, and now we got some Hylic here. And hopefully we'll see their captain soon, which looks like there is a Hylic captain. I thought maybe this is a Hylic that we potentially saw when we were interacting with the Hylic in Chapter 5 of the Gilbert Super Snow story, but it doesn't necessarily look like it was, but still a cool and interesting boss, and a very large boss, where we can really see kind of like the details of the risen Hylic here. And just like the last 3 bosses that we have fought, we can go ahead and defeat this one as well. 10% health. And 1 final stab.
These bone ships are saggy, rotted, and full of holes, but still seaworthy. As long as you're not planning to sail to Ilona, they'll do.
Not Ilona. Just the city of Arah. Right into the Dragon's Maw. When can the ships be ready?
Depends on Eiley and Zot. I swear, they fight like Norn and argue like they're married.
You'll have all the help we can spare, Captain. Tyria itself depends on us.
We'll be as quick as we can, Commander. My word on it. When the ships are ready, we'll alert Marshal Traherne.
So mission complete. Let's go ahead and pick up. Wow, a major upgrade for us. Actually, this is super nice. Let's go ahead, equip that, and then let's customize this. Pick up Berserkers, and yeah, that's another upgrade. So we are getting a little bit stronger. And let's go ahead and leave this instance. And then we got Ships of the Line with very cool loading screen art here. And let's go ahead and run out this way where we can see the ships that I believe we just commandeered. And we got this outpost over here that is currently being attacked by the Risen. Looks like we have good timing here. You can go ahead and deal with this group before they even try to breach through the gates. There we go. Let's see if we can enter here. So let's go find Eiley Jane. Right over here.
And that's why I say researcher Mava's threaded megafluidity theorem is complete bunk.
Mava's crazy as a junk heap scrit. Huh, we finally found something we can agree on.
Pipe down, you two. The commander doesn't need to hear your prattle. We need to report.
Let's go ahead and discuss strategy.
We've got the ships, the crew, and the sizable force. All we need is a good commander, and our squad's ready for the final operation.
I'm ready to catch the Risen with their tattered pants down. How do you want to play this?
We sail south and blend in with their usual galleys. The Risen will assume we're part of their fleet, until we start firing on their shore artillery. While we sail, Inkblood will lead a feint against the ground troops to distract the Risen. Commander, you'll be on the flagship with Phil, Mary, and me. Zot will be the flagship's gunner. Ellie's assigned to the second galleon, the Windfall. We need to spread out our firepower in case we lose one of the ships.
Don't worry about the captured galleons, Crusader Jane. Everything will be fine. They're in fully operational condition.
And by operational, he means they have a barely tolerable ratio of holes to wreckage.
That's enough, you two. With your leave, Commander, we'll board the ships and set sail.
Why, Zot, you've gone all lumpy-eared. Worried about me?
Not worried. I merely wanted you back on my ship to assist me. That's all.
Stop stressing out. Activate that big heat sink you call a brain and get to work.
I have a feeling something bad is going to happen, but let's go ahead, jump into this boat, and we can shove off.
I'm not seeing any movement. Looks like we're in the clear.
Stay wary. They won't give up that easily.
Should we try to look more Risen? I could shuffle around, or rot a little, or something.
Stay quiet, Mary, my dove. That's all we can do.
Here's this report to battle stations.
Ali and Zot are waiting for you above decks.
Let's go ahead and find them. Where we have a massive operation in front of us.
Time to work your magic. Show me some firepower.
1 part fire, 1 part power, and the rest is made of kaboom.
This fires off cannons to destroy the catapults on shore. So let's go ahead and fire this way. I currently see 3 catapults.
Use your cannon shield to deflect the incoming rockets.
Brace yourself, everyone. Things are about to get rotten.
I have to destroy the bone wall. And then you also have to reflect everything. Just try to deal with the Risen, maybe. The giant specifically. Let's fire more this way.
The hull's cracking, Captain. Oozes are slipping in through the holes.
Oozes are slipping in.
I'll take your post, Commander. You get down there and give Mary a hand.
Okay, let's go ahead. Just fire one more shot and let's get down here. There should be oozes that we need to fight, so we can try to group them up.
These awful things are eating through the hull. What destruction.
So we got 3 right now.
Lodge that goop in the hole, and it'll plug the gap so no more oozes can come through.
Okay, so let's plug all the holes. Got a bunch
We
over
need
here.
something to plug up these leaks before they get worse.
Can try to get more goop. There's just a lot of oozes here. Let's go ahead and try to throw down some AoE abilities. That's going to help us out. And then over to this one. Got this one here. And then one right there. Oh, I did not do this one. Let's pick up the goop. And let's plug.
Now get back to your duties at the cannon.
Okay, let's get back towards the cannon. So So we destroyed the bone wall up here, and we were attacking some of the Risen. Looks like the bone wall is back.
The hull's patched proper, Captain. Why is this tub still shaking?
It's not the ship that's the problem. Something's coming up through the water.
Commander, there are enemy ships rising off the starboard side. So close.
So it looks like we have a problem behind us. Let's get on to these cannons. Try to deal some damage this way. There was one of the ships already, wow. Those are very easy to defeat.
They've damaged the windfall. The galleon will sink for sure.
I've damaged the windfall.
Crusader Jane, look off our port bow. The windfall has taken heavy damage. They're going down.
We can't do anything about it. If we don't capture those docks immediately, the Pack's entire assault will fail. People are counting on us.
No, that's Ellie's ship. We can't leave her to die.
We have our orders, Agent, and the mission is top priority. Ellie would understand.
To hell with our orders, and to hell with the mission. Ellie needs me. I won't abandon her.
Stand down, Agent Zot. This flagship will continue toward the Orient docks. It's critical that the Pact capture that territory, and this is our only chance. However, the mission can succeed without your expertise or mine. Crusader Jane, give Fel and Mary our posts. Rendezvous with Inkblood when you reach the shore. Zot and I will head to the Windfall. If there are survivors, we'll get them out and meet you there.
Thank you, Commander. I promised her.
So let's go ahead and rescue the crew of the Windfall.
We need to search the water where the ship went down.
So let's go ahead and pop some swiftness, and it looks like we have one downed ally in this direction. The wreck of the Golden Vanity, point of interest unlocked, but I don't think we can get the hero challenge in this mission. But there are a ton of dead soldiers. And I'm looking for any allies that we could rescue. Looks like it's just this Vigil War Master.
Ellie. She's still breathing. She has to be.
Here's Ellie right over here. Looks like Zot's on the case. Let's see if he can get her back up. Looks like she's like face down on the water though, so it's probably not the best thing. And there we go. Looks like she is okay.
Look at all the pretty tangents and signs tracing your ears. Ooh, geometrical.
Hush, Ellie. Don't say anything. I mean that. Doing equations after a joke can only lead to non-axiomatic formula. I'm ready, Commander. Let's save as many soldiers as we can and finish this fight once and for all.
So let's rendezvous with the squad on the shore. Here's our allies.
Over here, Commanders. Ellie, I'm glad to see you're safe.
Me too, Loafer. Good to see you in one piece.
We have to control this territory. Zot, ready the munitions.
Take this, Commander. You lay down the signal, and we'll fire on that location. Got it?
Let's go ahead and take this, where we can signal Mary to fire the cannon at target location. So maybe let's throw it down right there. Let's just try to deal with all of the Risen. Alright, some signal bundles here. Let's go ahead and throw it this way. There are just a ton of Risen everywhere. Go ahead, Zot. Do the next one over here. Let's try to get another signal bundle. We're definitely getting a little overwhelmed. Let's try to get over to the third one in this direction. Just throw that up that way. There's just so many of them. Throw. Oh, we got stun there. That's not cooldown. Try to throw another one there. There's just so many of them. That's definitely helpful for us. I just killed like 10 of them. I was hoping Zot was going to do his thing. Can we do it like on top of us? Oh, we keep getting like stunned over and over and over. There's so many Risen. Let's just throw the signal right on top of us right here. There we go. There goes a lot of them. This is kind of an intense fight right here. Okay, Zod. I'm counting on you here. So looking through the wiki and based on my own personal experiences, it seems like this mission is actually pretty buggy. Buggy to the point where some people just cannot complete it. Where we're going to try our best to get through here, and if not, I'll just go ahead and read it through a quick summary of the end of this mission, and then we can continue on.
Over here, Commander. Ellie.
Where we need to get to the third tower, and we need to be maybe a little slow with it and try not to attack it. See if you can light it up, and let's just not do anything. Looks like it might have worked this time. So it seems like my issue was I attacked it and it like bugged out, and now we just have to destroy the last of the defenders. So it's a good thing that we were actually able to get through here, and it looks like there's like 3 big bugs, and that was like the 3rd one, so hopefully we're good here on out. Do my classic knock on wood. It's a good thing I have a wooden desk, it makes it easy. And what's not easy is this fight right here where let's try target this Ravager. Let's heal up. I don't think we're gonna... Oh, there we go. Okay, let's get up. Oh, they're just sprinting after me. Okay, there's so many enemies here. Oh, there's so many enemies. Okay. Let's try to grab one of these. Throw it there, maybe. I don't know why. I just need to get a bunch more, I think. That like did absolutely nothing. That's very unfortunate. Let's try on that group maybe. And then let's grab another one, get it ready, heal up, and then I see a massive group right there. Let's hope for the best. That's gonna be a massive explosion if it works. That killed so many of them, but there's still so many alive. Looks like it might have like a target limit. It looks like more undead are heading towards like that group of undead, so we could just keep firing in that direction. Also seems like maybe it got blocked by that like little pillar right there. There's another big explosion. Let's try to get one more to finish off that group, and then there's just like a few stragglers over there. There we go. And then we have, maybe I should have thrown another one, but let's just run into the fight here and run away in fear. There we go, and now we can regroup with the team and assess the situation. Agent Zot right over here. And then we have all of our friends around here. Unfortunately for us, Ellie is safe.
Zot, you did it! Bless your adorable little moony eyeballs. You're a hero.
It wasn't all me. The commander did a great deal, and, well, there was
Zot!
you.
Ah!
By the forges of hope, I swear every last one of these walking corpses will burn.
The marksman is their leader. Take him out, and the rest will fall apart.
So it looks like the undead had a marksman that just assassinated Agent Zot, which is very, very unfortunate. He is a hero though who saved Ellie's life and was able to make this mission as successful as it is so far. We have a marksman, Rukbat Rami. Alright, let's go ahead and try to clear through this group of undead first. And I was just thinking about how this series of missions seems to be going a lot better than last episode, with a little bit less loss, but still, unfortunately, it looks like we have lost another friend. Let's go ahead and clear through this undead. All of our troops here are just wailing away at him. Ellie screams out, "Die, monster." No witty banter from the undead. And we can avenge Zot.
No one warns your daddy. No one.
The operation is a success. Fall in, troops. Secure the docks.
Traherne has arrived, and the operation has been successful, which is great. And this is honestly a massive victory, where we just claimed like a massive beachhead so close to Arah. But we have Traherne here that we can chat with.
Well done, Commander. A bittersweet victory, but critical. Your success in this battle means the Pact can finally strike at Arah and the dragon Zaitan. Crusader Jane, Ellie, you have my sincere condolences. Agent Zot died a hero, and his sacrifice will be remembered.
I agree. Zot will be missed. He was a great inventor and a good friend.
He was an irascible old crackpot, and you know it, Commander. I don't want to believe he's gone. I don't think I really knew what it meant to fight for Tyria. Everyone said, this is war, and there's no turning back. I couldn't appreciate what that meant, but now I know. It means loss, and pain, and sadness, but it also means hope. I won't give up, and I won't turn back. Even when Zot thought I was gone, he kept searching for me. I'll keep him alive too, with my inventions.
You'll have a chance to do just that. The Pact isn't turning back either. We're going to defeat Zaitan, once and for all.
The Priory has a ritual that we think could cleanse ore, and this leads us to the next mission, which I have already done. So let's go ahead and swap back to my Necromancer, where we can continue the mission afterwards. In the open world, the Pact is currently in control of Grint's Cathedral, but we can go ahead and enter the story mission that takes place here at the Cathedral of Silence, and this is such a cool piece of loading screen art. I say this about every loading screen art, but honestly,
magnificent. It's painful to see it so ruined.
Its foundations were shaken by the destruction of ore, but it's still standing. Good work, that.
Of course its foundations were good. That's where they put the tombs.
Lead the way.
Strixie is so big now.
Welcome, Commander. I've asked Priestess Rai to join us. Her knowledge of the God of Death is unmatched.
I never thought I'd be standing here. The Cathedral of Silence, the first temple of Grenth and Tyria. This is the shrine of the Seven Reapers.
Who are the Seven Reapers? Priests of Grenth?
Mortal heroes that fought beside Grenth when he defeated the god Doom and ascended to the throne of death. They became his avatars. I can still feel the altar's sanctity. The secrets you seek are here. But Orien rites were very different. I may not be able to call the Temple Guardian.
Don't worry. Where faith ends, science begins. This is my Voed. That's very old energy detector to you, non-geniuses. At this setting, it triggers old emotional resonance, visions of the past. When we get to the altar, we'll watch the image residue of the Oriens and see what they did.
Excellent. Follow me then, and we'll find that altar.
So let's go ahead and secure the altar of Grinth. Kind of a familiar idea for us, where we did play through the meta event that takes place here, and this is something that I've talked about a little bit, but I just really appreciate kind of like the overlapping like pieces of content that takes place in like the same areas, where we got like open world exploration that takes place here, a meta event that takes place here, and the story mission that takes place here. So like one little area that is useful in many different ways, and we can see through that door there. Very interesting. We have a bunch of coffins and a risen spider queen, and she's probably going to spawn a ton of risen spider hatchlings as well. It seems like this is the boss for this part of the story, so we can go ahead and just kill her really quickly. A couple more spiders, and I hate that death animation so much. It just makes me so uneasy. But it looks like there's actually more stuff spawning. We got some acolytes and whatnot. It's fun to be here on a Necromancer because we have a lot of connection to death and whatnot. And it looks like those doors just opened, and out comes a veteran, a risen knight. Let's let him drop down his shield. And then we can go ahead and just unleash everything upon him as he evades, I guess. And then we can finish unleashing everything. There we go.
Activate the Voed.
Let's activate the Voed. Kozak's over here. I was trying to find him.
Look, they're performing the ritual.
The Char are at the doorstep of Or. They plan to sear our nation as they did Ascalon. Vizier Kilbron says he can defeat them, but we must prepare for the worst. As Desmina did so many years ago, we shall call upon Grinth for his aid. If Or dies, at least we will be with him. Where is the god to whom I give my undying devotion? Where is the god to whom I may beg revenge against those who scorn me?
In order to commune with the altar, we should mimic them. Everyone to your places.
So let's go ahead and take the place of this Orion acolyte.
Where is the god to whom I may give my undying devotion? Where is the god to whom I may beg revenge against those who scorn me?
Follow where I lead. Come whence I call, and the corpses of the dead will be yours to control.
And here is an avatar of Grinth, the 7th Reaper. A very, very, very cool lore character.
Hail, Ancient One! Rise from your frozen tomb. I, your priestess, call upon you in the name of Grinth himself.
Who dares summon me? A true priest? Is there such a thing in this fallen land?
I am Grinth's servant, and we have survived many dangers to speak with you. Please, hear us.
I see in your heart that you are no stranger to death. Very well. I will hear you out. But in return, you will kill in Grinth's name. The keeper of this shrine has fallen to Zartan. Grinth wishes him returned, but I am too weak to perform the task. Destroy the keeper, and I will answer your questions.
Thank you, Dark Reaper. We will do as you have asked.
Destroy the corruption. Return the soul of the keeper. Go.
Jahern, similar to us, also probably has some sort of connection to this place, given the fact that he is a necromancer. And I just really love that character, the 7th Reaper, because the 7 Reapers are characters that you actually can meet in the original Guild Wars, and also may or may not play a part in a future story down the line in Guild Wars 2. But we need to find the corrupted priest of Grinth, and it looks like there are just a ton of Risen blocking our way. This feels like a undead survival shooter right now. Here's the Risen Keeper of the Shrine with a very cool model. Looking pretty similar to the individual that we fought in the open world. Kind of similar to the past shrines as well. It looks like he's very easy to defeat. And now we can speak with the 7th Reaper over here, where we have returned the Keeper back to Grinth.
We've done it. Praise Grinth.
Praise the eternal alchemy, you mean? It was my device that summoned that creepy guy in the first place.
We've fulfilled our part of the bargain, Reaper. Will you honor yours?
So shall it be. You seek the heart of war, then you must go to the very beginning. The rock where the gods first set foot upon this world. There is an artesian well hidden in the mountains behind the temple of Melandru. There, you will find the place where Or began.
Thank you. We'll go there and cleanse this land of the dragon's corruption, or we'll once again be free.
Let it be so. I will see you again, heroes. In every swing of your enemy's blade, I will be there.
So mission successful, a pretty quick one. Let's go ahead and pick our reward there, and then we can go ahead and leave this instance, where the next mission on this character is the Source of Or, which is a very, Very, very cool mission that we'll get to soon enough, but we still have one more arc through the personal story to do, and we also have one additional mission, the counterpart to this one, that we can do next episode, and then we can go ahead and finish up with a personal story afterwards. But I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time on the road to Tyria. Goodbye.